what playbook do you use at this moment in time? Do you do the 2008 playbook? Is there another playbook that you go further back to use? Is it going to be a completely new playbook that you have to ad hoc? You know, are you going to go back and read about the Depression era like strategies of banking, or you know, just thinking of the playbook. Don, what's the playbook?
I don't know that there is one, right? I mean, you know, you look at, you know, I've had several people ask me, so, you know, what should you have done to prepare for this? You know, the reality is, and I always joke, I'm like, you know what? Apple was not prepared for this, right? You know, Netflix, Amazon, like the biggest companies in the world with the smartest people running them were not prepared for this. What's the playbook? I think we're rewriting it, right? I think we're leaning on experiences from the past, but the play is different. Because again, I mean, if you look back at the Depression era, all right, we're going to experience the entire, call it 4 years of depression in 6 months. We're going to experience the 3 years of the financial crisis in 90 days. We're going to experience things so much faster that the playbook, although has the same words and same logic, is written completely different. I don't know that there's truly a playbook to rely on. We've got to rely on evidence from the past and experience, but it's a different environment.
Yep. Jen, what would you add to that?
I agree with Don. I agree, and I think, you know, to that point, you know, those things we're referencing were financial crises, and these are what we're experiencing now is really across much more than just the financial sector, you know, and so, you know, again, those things were caused by market conditions, and this is caused by a virus, and it's a healthcare crisis. So I think, or, you know, started by that. So I think there is no playbook. You know, some of the things that, you know, we can look at strategically, at least, you know, from our company and our industry is, you know, how do we expand in, you know, our banking platforms again to help, you know, ensure that we have good liquidity and we're well capitalized. You know, how do we, you know, tap into that, as well as, you know, going back to the e-close, you know, what are some ways that we can, knowing that we'll probably have reduced personal interactions for a while, like actual physical interactions for a while, you know, how do we, you know, really get to a digital platform for banking, mortgage, closing, everything, you know, without losing that human touch.
Yeah. And Christy at Flagstar, when you guys think about, I know you mentioned that you guys have a regular exercise where you're thinking, you know, 3 months down the line, kind of these sprints that you mentioned. When you think a little further, 6 to 12 months, you know, what are you guys expecting and planning for right now based on what's happened in the past 30 days?
Well, one of the things that we have to be really cognizant of, and if you hear our other leadership, you hear Sandro or Christy talk, they really talk about what do we have to do to keep this health crisis from turning into a credit crisis, right? So if you approach every decision from saying, hey, we want to, it's a crisis and we have to deal with that, but how do we keep it from getting bigger and expanding and snowballing? And so that's what we're trying to use to write to write the new playbook. You know, and luckily we have really smart folks in the industry like Don and Jen and Angel yourself that we can have conversations with and spitball ideas and talk about what really needs to happen. Because none of us have, you know, in our back pocket the answer. You know, it's not like one smart person comes in the room with the answer to the test. We all have to dig deep and come up with something new or innovative ways to do things. And that's going to take a lot of collaboration, you know, across both company lines, industry lines, regulatory lines. It's going to take every one of us to bring us out of this.